Hello and welcome to my She Slays International Women's Week specials. Today it's She Slays Wellness, and I'm very pleased to welcome onto the show Bhavna Harchandra, who over the last 2.5 decades has been an inseparable part of the fitness industry in this city as well as this country. Hey Bhavna, wonderful to have the chirping of the birds in the background. I understand that you're in a getaway in Panchgani. Thank you for talking to
Yes,
us.
in
Thank you for
Rockside,
talking to us.
Panchgiri.
Lovely. How are you doing? And a happy International Women's Day and Women's Week to you.
Thank you. Happy International Women Week to you and to everyone,
I want to
all the women
start,
out there and men.
lovely. I want to start with when and how you started your fitness journey, Bhavna. Would you do a small rewind and talk to us about that?
I love to. So I started my fitness journey as far as I can recollect since forever. So when I was young in my school days, I was a sports enthusiast. I self-learned, since I didn't have the formal training, I self-learned a lot of sports, which was swimming and TT, tennis, table tennis, carom, throwball. And I went on to become the sports captain of my school. So my love for fitness began from a very initial stage. At college days, I was known to be the early bird, waking up and, going for early morning walks and scheduling 1 hour evening walks. And imagine the college teens, I would wake up my friends at 7 a.m. even on a Sunday and say, hey, joining me for a walk. Of course, they thought I was insane, but yeah. And then moving forward, much later on, I was studying for my MBA. And at that time, Ramaban's classes in South Bombay were the
Sure.
big hit, like aerobics was the in thing. And just out of curiosity, I went to have a look and I saw these people moving in sync in their, awesome lycra, cool fitness gear, pulsating, peppy music, and, all those friendly vibes. And I was in love. I was hooked. So I changed my profession, or rather education path, to fitness. In 1998, I decided to follow my heart and pursue my passion into fitness.
That's wonderful. Now, all of us, when we find our true calling, when we find our, what we want to live out our creative expression, we also understand and we have an innate understanding of what our USP could be, our unique selling proposition. If you ask me what I bring to the table as far as radio and voice is concerned, I have a fair idea of where I need to improve and what my USP is. What can you say is your USP, Bhavna, and what have you brought to a fitness industry which is already burgeoning, and a lot of luminaries have left their mark or their stamp. So let's talk about that.
Right. So, in the 2000s, early 2000s, aerobics was big. Gyms had started sprouting, and I would say I was instrumental in introducing boot camp training, which is military style sergeant drill kind of training to Mumbai. In fact, it was covered by a lot of newspapers, and now it's become so common. Functional training, no equipment training, boot camp training, all in their various forms. That happened in 2006. After which I introduced trampoline fitness and penalty box fitness much later to the fitness industry. So I feel that is my little drop in the ocean of a contribution to the fitness industry. Coming to the USP, I think you have to be eager as a learner to keep picking up different kind of exercise forms and maybe incorporating it in your own style, which is what I've done over a period of 24 years. I've picked up at least 20 certifications or attended courses. And my USP is to combine them and make it into like a fun fitness package. So when we did trampoline fitness, we did boxercise and bounce, we did trampoline Tabata, we did ball and bounce. I do combination of cardio with holding a stability ball, step class with a stability ball, cardio holding those dyno therabands. So I feel I can do a lot of combination workouts, which just makes it more like fun fitness package.
Wonderful, because you've got to keep your proteges or
A lot
your
of fruit
trainees
flies
on
here.
their toes. You've got to
Yes,
keep your proteges on or your trainees on their toes constantly,
yes.
lest they get bored of the workout that you
Right.
set out
Fun
for
is
them,
such
the
an
routine.
important aspect. You have to spice up your workouts. You have to inject a bit of madness into your sessions. You have to let your personality shine out. Only then do they feel that, this is a workout while going to others. Anyone currently especially can go online and go for YouTube videos or streaming videos, right? But when you put that element of fun and you keep the workout fresh and interesting and also safe and effective, then that's what brings your clients back.
Bhavna, we've seen fitness and its perception go through a sea change over the last few decades. I talk to sports people all the time. And when I speak to somebody like a Sunny Gavaskar or then a Sachin Tendulkar, or more recently, the cricketers of this era, you notice the change over the decades. Like Mr. Gavaskar would say, we take a round of the CCI and then we'd start playing our game, or you take one round of the Wankhede and get there. And then you see in the 90s that, they started doing a lot of gym work. And now, of course, they're like machines, isn't it? I mean, they're spending so much time. These are professional sports people. But even otherwise, for people who are just viewing fitness as a way of life, what are the changes that you've seen in the perception of fitness since you've been in the profession, like you said, from 1998? So let's go through the end of the 90s, leading up to the 2000s and the 10s and now the 20s.
Okay, so in the 1990s, gyms were like very few and far-fetched. Okay, so strength training was not given a lot of importance or attention. There were some akhadas in Hanuman Gym or Shivaji Park and things like that. Charni Road had the Tarwarkars, the iconic Tarwarkars there. And so people didn't see strength training as a very important aspect of fitness. So that has started, of course, growing now and with more of an understanding of a holistic approach to fitness. Then we moved on to the 2000s where you had international figures, Jane Fonda, Tony Little, Jillian Michaels, and I'm speaking from a group exercise point of view too. And fitness industry, which was not seen as a very glamorous, lucrative profession, was suddenly given a boost because they took it to a different vertical.
Sure.
Right, and that's when I joined the bandwagon essentially around that time. And then it was seen as this, aerobics was seen as high choreography, a lot of complex footwork put in. Now I feel towards the later half, now people just want a hardcore workout. They want a good workout, but they don't want to exercise their minds. They want it to be mind-boggling. Back then, if you come from a hard day of work and your workout was complex, you were still okay with it. But now people want to just get at it. They want it to be, of course, effective and time efficient. It's not that I've had a very hard day of work and I don't want to again sit and overthink my workout. I want to go for something like Zumba, where even if it's dance is repetitive, HIIT, boot camp, AMRAP programs. So that has become the current trend now. Easy to follow.
Easy to follow and
scientific.
Time
efficient and scientifically planned.
Yeah. That's
and coming to the athletes and the sportsmen, they work through a very different kind of module, right? Everything of theirs, from their meal plans to their fitness regime, is very planned. Even when you're going through vegan diets, everything is very planned. You can't compare an average exerciser to an elite athlete or a sportsman. The knowledge has become vast. You'll be surprised to know, but Jane Fonda was called the best and the worst thing that happened to fitness.
Why the worst?
Because,
the best I can understand.
Because she was the best because she got like the whole glamour and, the lycra leotards and the fun aspect of fitness in, as opposed to like a solitary personal trainer standing in one spot and maybe counting. That was the perception. But the format that she followed was wrong and a lot of people got injured. So through those learnings, they realized that, hey, you need to warm up before doing maybe your short stretches, or you need to do active dynamic stretches first, then finish a full workout and then go for the long stretches, getting your heart rate up, getting a pulse lower, then a cool down. So as a fitness instructor, we have seen that change where we've learned.
That's very, very interesting, Bhavna. Bhavna, COVID has been a trying time for a lot of us, especially people like you, who are used to the touch and feel aspect. You've been meeting your clients. Now you've had to shift to a virtual session and that dynamic. What is the change in people's workout habits post COVID-19? I'd like to know from you.
So COVID did away with overcrowded gyms and packed fitness classes. People started working out at home, so workouts became more hybrid. They became more high repetition and low resistance since we were working with more with our body weight and the light apparatus that we would have around dumbbells and home equipment, water bottles and bags and things like that. So yeah, so also the initial fear and uncertainty of COVID led people introspect. Your workouts became more centered. People moved to yoga, more Pilates, even Zumba, dance, box exercise, because they wanted to just feel good. You did not know what was the next step. It was a trying time for all of us. So it just made us more focused towards ourselves, self-care, and self-awareness. Now I feel when the lockdown opened out, everyone started making plans with the friends to go for walks. So instead of meet over coffee, it became meet over walks. Cycling clubs ballooned. So things like that happened where people were doing outdoor training, functional training in the gardens and parks. That has been a bit of a change. Gym goers, regular gym goers, were used to lifting really like heavy duty weights, big bulky musculature leading to big bulky meals. And we learned that moderation is now the key. Your workouts became, easier, more immunity focused, which is not hardcore. Your meals also became smaller, portion controlled, and home cooked meals. I think everything became a little more balanced because you had self awareness and time to think about yourself.
That's very beautifully put. There's an article that you wrote for a prominent daily, which is now a weekly, and I'd like our audiences to share in that knowledge. It was basically about building immunity during COVID, and I loved it because it gave a 360-degree perspective of how you can use exercise and vitamins and diet to to build one's own immunity. I mean, there's very little in our own control. So instead of worrying about what virus might hit us or not hit us, can we just look inward? Was what that was all about. So tell us
Right.
more, please.
Thank you for the compliment. If I recollect, the article was Stay Fit at Home.
True.
So when we
Yes.
were all homebound, we had this tendency of maybe binge watching Netflix, binge eating while binge watching. Sleep cycles went for a bit of a toss. So we had to come back and refocus on how we can get our nutrients, our sleep, our exercise, everything back according to the circadian rhythm of our lives. And that's again coming back to introspection. We keep everything in moderation. Our exercises, instead of high intensity interval training, moved to more easier forms because that was proven to build immunity and to sustain well. Because there was to be active all day, instead of delegating work to our staff, we were doing our own work. So instead of them burning calories, we were burning our own calories, making the bed, laying the table, doing the dishes. So that became a very, I would say, happy addition to our homebound lives. Regarding food, I advise not to cut down or eliminate any kind of food groups, such as keto diets or going to extreme fasts also. Stick to like eating wholesome meals, wholesome grains, because the carbohydrates are very important to build your immunity, whether it's millets, grains, potatoes, all of that. Include protein in every meal. Some immunity boosting foods like coconut oil, virgin coconut oil. 2 tablespoons taken daily, it helps to boost immunity. It's called an immunomoderator. And of course, the added benefits are glowing skin, shining hair, it flushes out excess fat. We stick to more home cooked meals with all our Indian dietary goodness of all our masalas and all the like the turmeric and jeera, ajwain, all our spices, cloves, long, elaichi, all that. So that also helped to build our immunity system up. An addition that we needed to do is take trouble to soak up some sun, because vitamin D was proven to
Yeah.
be a good, strong deterrent to COVID. So take the trouble to get some vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin, include vitamin C, zinc in the diet. All of that was important. And most important, I think, was mental wellness. So many chanting groups came about free. Generally, I would personally travel to go for a pranic healing meditation class, and now it is available free online just at a click of a button. So these groups where the I am presence, there's a Namho presence, there's a Buddhist chanting, pranic healing, like I said, started offering free sessions online in groups. I mean, imagine the energy of that and just the selfless act of giving and making people feel good and centered in trying times.
Lovely. Hey, I believe there's an upcoming book. Many, many congratulations. Can you give us a
Thank you.
sneak peek into what it's all about and how much you put into it?
Okay, so I think that's a culmination. The book is a culmination of my learnings over a period of decades. I'm very excited about the book. Fingers crossed, it should be out in a few months. It's as opposed to a fitness book, which just tells you do this, then do that, then do this. It's a story. It's a story of a girl and how she's trying to form a balanced, holistic approach to fitness in her own way. It makes you exercise independent. So it focuses on how you can build your own strength training plans, cardiovascular fitness, walking guidelines. How do you progress in walking? Your own dietary guidelines according to your lifestyle. Mental wellness, flexibility, how that's so important and integral in our lives. And it's in a fun story format. There are also many little surprises thrown in, which I can't divulge right now.
Fair
But
enough.
it's going to be a fun read, not
Do you have a
something
title? Do
boring.
you have a title? Do you have a title for it as yet, Bhavna?
Yes, it's the 5 fingers of fitness, which is
Wow.
basically the 5 fundamentals of fitness: cardiovascular, strength, flexibility, diet, and mental well being.
We look forward to that. I'm just curious to know, at the beginning of this interview, you mentioned it. It's also a very prominent part of your CV. Penalty box training. Treat me as the ignoramus here, but fill me in. What really is penalty box training? And you're certified by the American Council on Exercise for that.
Yeah, so penalty box training is a US based online training format. They give you a box which opens out into a grid. So, somewhat like a ladder in agility drills. And it also folds to make hurdles. So, you can use it in various forms. It is light, it is weightless. So, I mean, it's portable. So, you can take it anywhere and do your workout, whether you want to do functional training or whether you want to do additional agility and sports training with it. Why penalty? Because every exercise they delegate to you, you have to perform for 1 minute. If at all you shift the grid, now you have to respect your workouts.
Sure.
Like if I books are knowledge, you wouldn't kick a book, right? So for us fitness instructors, dumbbells are also very like blessed.
Yes.
I wouldn't kick a penalty box or shift it while doing the workout. So if you do that, if the hurdle drops, if the grid shifts, you have to do a penalty of 20 push-ups, hands and toes, and then get back into the workout. So you want to focus on your actual workout, because once the box is displaced, you do the penalty and get back in.
Wow, sounds hectic.
You must give it a shot.
I'm very, very pleased that you've taken cognizance of mothers and how hard they work, whether they're homemakers or working mothers, and you did these mom and baby workout sessions with the designer Nishka Lulla. I had lots of fun doing it. And what are the kind of reactions that you got, and what really were those sessions all about for people who haven't seen them?
So, firstly, Nishka Lula is a very hands-on mom, I must say, a very devoted, dedicated mom, like so many moms out there. And she wanted to do a workout where she can get her baby along and incorporate her in the fitness training sessions. Now, I have seen my own elder sister who lives in the US, who has no help, no nannies, and running a house and helping her husband at work. She would go everywhere with her baby. Even she'd be lying down, she'd wrap the baby up and do like a bench press. She'd do push-ups over the baby. She would take her kids to the garden. She put them and she was doing like a push down with the seesaws. So I took a lot of help from my elder sister to incorporate this into Nishka's
Wow.
workout. So we did a lot of interesting move, lunges with twists. Right through, she was holding a baby, you know, baby bell swings, and her baby was having a blast. So it's just a way to incorporate your child into your fitness regime. You can use them as a load or as a prop, if I may say, and get a great workout. So it's good for the moms who don't have any external help with their kids too.
That is so cool. That is so
That
cool.
became a big hit on social media, by the way. Huh? It
Yeah,
went to like 75,000 views or something on that one video.
which is an opportune moment for you to give out your social media handle. So if people want
Okay.
to follow Bhavna Harchandrai, get tips, get all your videos, stuff like this, stuff that you did with Nishkalullah, where can we find you? To give out your Instagram or your Facebook or your Twitter, please give us the handles.
On Instagram, I'm at Bhavna Harchandrai, which is my full name. On Facebook, I'm Bhavna M. Harchandrai, and I'm not on Twitter, etc.
So that's Bhavna M. Harchandrai on Facebook and Bhavna Harchandrai on Instagram. Let's
Yes.
sign off this wonderful session with what you think are fitness myths. Some big fitness myths that you've come across in your career, myths that you want to bust before we say bye.
Okay, so mostly I train females. So the number one fitness myth that I've experienced in my 2 decades of fitness instructorhood are if I lift weights, I'm going to look like Hulk Hogan. So I just, yeah, it's like my arms will become bigger than my husband's thighs. I want to look feminine. And I want to say, so long as there's a challenge, have an overload in your muscles. No one is telling you to go all out. Like back to the moderation is key or progressive overload that we have discussed, right? So long as there's an adequate challenge, your muscles will grow, you will strengthen, and you are not going to look like Hulk Hogan, right? So that is the biggest fitness myth. Another one is like, I don't need to do strengthening. I do yoga. I go for walks. But of course, they have their own benefits. Yoga is so therapeutic. It's great for you in every way, especially the breathing aspects. Also, and walking is great, but it's an activity and it's not exercise. So you have to know you have to go to one level higher. You have to add that element of overload to be able to see any change. So that's another thing. You can't, which is what my whole book, The 5 Fingers of Fitness, is about. You can't only do this or only do that. I diet, so I don't need to exercise. I'm sorry, what is that? Why do you not need to exercise? It's great for you. It's good for your immunity, for your bones, for your muscle gain, anti-aging. It's great in every which way. So these are some of the myths that I come across. Some people say I don't want to lift weights because I'm an outdoorsy person. I'm like, what does that mean? Are you a traffic havaldar, postman, courier boy? I just try to wonder what they're trying to say. Because, yeah, it's all mostly related to strength training. Definitely go do functional training out, go for treks, go for cycling, but you do need to add that external resistance to your body also.
Excellent.
So,
Bhavna Harchandrai has been an absolutely fascinating session on my She Slays wellness. I couldn't have asked for a better guest to bust all those myths, give us a holistic 360-degree perspective on wellness. Thank you very, very much, and have a good day up ahead. Bye-bye.
thank you. Same to you. It was a pleasure.